What's up, guys? Welcome to Office Tech. So today we're doing this live. We have this MacBook Pro that pretty much, I believe, has battery issues. So when you disconnect it, it just dies. So what we're gonna do right now is change the battery. On this one, the battery will come like this. So as you can see, the battery is the whole top case. Comes with the keyboard and all this. This is the best way to replace the battery. I know some people will change only the battery itself, but that's really a complicated work. But pretty much what we do is swap everything from this one to the new top case. And for that, we need to open up the computer and start removing the screws. Let's start to do it. So to open up this one, we use a P5 for the bottom case screws. This was the last one. Keep in mind that the screws from the bottom side are bigger than the one from the top case. Also, the one that goes in the corner are going to look bigger than the ones that goes in the center. We're gonna use a suction cup to open up the computer. Once you hear the clicks opening, you're gonna use a plastic to pull it. You're gonna insert the plastic on the gap antenna to open up the laptop. And the cover is already out, and that's it. Will be the inside of our MacBook. This one is a MacBook Pro 13 inch, I'm sorry, M1 2020. As always, remember once you open the computer, always have you ESD protection. And then the first thing we're gonna do is just remove this LiDAR cover in order to access the BMU unit, which is for the battery. What we're gonna do first is disconnect the battery, this flex cable right here. Use a T5 to remove the BMU screw. I'm sorry. And this pretty much disconnect the battery. Right now there is no power on the laptop. All right, so now we're gonna start removing the screws for the different components. These are called cowlings. The screws for the cowling use a D3 bits. That's the first cowling. Which one else? Use a D3. The one for the screen cable, and the flex cable that connects the logic board to the screen unit. Cowling too. These two guides, they will be a T5 bit. Remove the cowling. trackpad. Cool. Let's disconnect the trackpad. Okay, you can keep removing different callings. This one again with the 3 bits. What else? This little screw here, we're going to be using our iFixit toolkit to remove it. And this should be this one. Yes. So let's start disconnecting the different flex cables from the logic board. These are the C ports, speaker, keyboard, this mylar. I'm gonna remove it because under it is the antenna cables. Let's remove antenna cables. Remove the speaker from the left side. Alright, I'm gonna use a T5 to start removing the screw from the logic board. This is a D3. This is a cowling that secures that cable that connects the logic board to the screen. Alright, and so you can see the legit port is already loose. You can remove it from the laptop. This is a board for the MacBook Pro M1 chip 2020. Let's put it safe. Now another place. What I'm gonna do next is the best way I recommend to replace a top case. Remember, we got a top case here. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna put one next to the other, the new one next to the old one, and because there is too many small components, you don't want to forget anyone. So what you're going to do is compare what you don't have here, what you have here that you need to swap to the other side. So pretty much here we're gonna start from the right side. We have the C ports with that D5 screw. We're gonna remove, these are the USB ports. We're gonna swap it to the other side. Cool. We can remove the speaker. Also with a T5 screw. Insert the two screws. Remove your speaker. And normally when you remove it, you see this rubber will stay in the L1. You want to take it with you. Remove it and insert then on the speaker. I know this will be a long video because I'm doing everything live, no edits. So what I'm doing now is just inserting those rubber again on the speaker holes where the screws goes. I believe they were just like this. Same thing with the other one. Cool. Let's place the speaker on the new top case. Make sure no cables are trapped underneath the speaker. Cool. Again, this component right here is the battery. So what you're doing is just replacing the battery. Some people will try to remove this battery, like even though you can buy the battery itself only, but this is really a hard work to remove it, and it's also a little bit dangerous because this is not meant to be removed like that. This is meant to be removed with a hole. The way Apple make this computer is that to remove this battery, they will make it really hard. I know, yes, it is possible, but it's also difficult. All right. Now let's go to the other side. Here we got the speaker. Let's use our electric screwdriver to make things a little faster. Big to a T5 on our electric screwdriver. got this 3 screw here. Just remove the speaker. You can always have the help of your black stick to remove them, and same thing happened here. This black rubbers always love to stay on the old trackpad, so you're gonna get them. Why are they important? Well, or why? I'm sorry. Remember that these are speakers. Speakers produce sound. Sounds basically will make this speaker vibrate. So this also they normally use those rubber so you don't have that sound of the speaker shaking inside your computer and that will produce a noise that is very, very annoying. So that's why they use those rubbers. That would be like shock absorber or something like that, if you want to call it that way. Cool. Okay, we already got that. This one is upside down. Right, so we're not gonna insert this speaker right now. Why? As you can see, the jack model audio here goes underneath the side of the speaker, so we're gonna save this speaker for later, and we're just gonna keep removing. Using a T5, let's remove the fan. Right, fan already out. What else can you remove now? Let's remove the audio model, jacks. Those screws. Also, we're gonna remove that one from the flush cover. These are T3 also. What's the best way to remove this? Once you remove the screws, it is already out, right? Like already loose. But this is glue, basically, to the bottom case. You're gonna get something underneath it and try to flip it over. Normally, when you get this, sometimes it will come with this port. Sometimes, not always. That's why I'm trying to save it. Okay, you get something underneath it, and just remember to disconnect this little flex cable. I hope you see it before you start attempting to remove this. This connector here is the touch ID or power button, which is very important. Okay, this is already out. Since we're already here, we can remove that touch ID. You can see here that touch ID will not come with your keyboard. That's a very separate part of your MacBook Pro. Also, MacBook Air is a separate part. This component has 6 screws. The 4 on the corner are similar size. The 2 on the middle are different size, so you wanna have that in mind too. And also, you remove the cowling that covers that Touch ID from the back. In order to get the Touch ID, you need to open up the computer, and as you can see here, just take it out, close it, and since we already have it in hand, we can install it on that new top case. Let's remove this plastic that covers the touch bar, and you're gonna insert the cable on the side that have that big opening. Once you're able to get it in, we're going to use the cowling to get the screws. And I put all the screws from the corner. Okay. You're gonna do now is you're gonna put the screws from the middle. They have a bigger head, but you won't tighten. Just insert them a little bit. Don't tighten it all the way. Why? Because you want to align it. You see, because it looks like a little bit not aligned. So you know, make sure you do your best to align it in a position that you feel is centered. Also, when you get this whole top case, it will normally comes with a guide that you use here to make sure it's level, you know. Once it's aligned, you're gonna tighten it. Don't tighten it too much. Just test that you are able to click it, that you feel that click. You should hear that click. Cool. Keep going. Let's swap the trackpad. This is the trackpad cable, and here's that T5, the electric one. The screw from the right side of the trackpad, top right side, top left side. Be careful with the battery, yeah? You don't want to puncture it or nothing like that. They can catch fire, so be careful. And yes, it happens to me before. That's why I can say it. Right, you got the 4 screws from the right side, and we got 2 more. But we before removing these 2, you wanna place your hand on the bottom I'm gonna show you why now. I'm gonna remove this screw and then let the last one. And then with your hand, you're gonna remove the trackpad. Why we did it that way? As you can see here, it has some other components that if you flip it over, they will fall and you may lose them, and you need those for the trackpad in order for the trackpad to work well. So we're gonna insert those. Sorry about that, I moved the camera. Now we're gonna insert those on the trackpad on the new top case. This is a cover that comes to protect the battery and prevent any damage to that new battery. You're gonna remove it for now. You're gonna insert the cable onto the computer. You're gonna again hold your trackpad. Make sure you don't lose any of those metallic parts that goes in there. And now we're gonna start reinstalling those screws. To reinstall, I'm not gonna use that electric screwdriver. If you wonder why, it's because you wanna this time you don't wanna broke the hooks where the screw goes. Anytime that you are reinstalling anything on Apple computers, don't use a screw one, electric one, or you may break the bolts where you insert the screws. I'm not tightening the screws all the way down. I'm just put it in place. If you wonder why, it's because same thing that we did with the Touch ID. We need to align the trackpad. They are a little smaller, that's why. Right, so they're all in, they're not tied. And you wanna do the same thing. You wanna align your trackpad. Again, they are tools that are designed to use it when you change your trackpad to make sure it is aligned. But you just do the best you can if you don't have those tools. Yep. So let's start then. All again, same thing with the trackpad. Just you're gonna tie it until you feel they're tied. Don't do it. Don't apply too much force here. You want the keyboard to work properly. So only thing we have left is the screen. To change the screen here, as you can see, we gotta remove all these components from here. And that's what we're gonna do right now. Just flip over the computer. clutch cover. You want to remove the 4 screws that hold the spring tensioners. Once you remove everything, something that I highly recommend is to keep your screws organized like this. So I know on each side for what are my screws. That way, you don't confuse later. And on Apples, you don't want to place a screw on the wrong side. Right, once you remove the spring tensioners, use a T5 to remove the 4 screws that holds this antenna to the screen. Alright, so if you see these little guys, all these little dots, they are screws. Yes, they're really tiny, and you're gonna use this P1 screwdriver to remove them. Let me grab the magnet. There are 6 on each side. Right. Once you remove all of them, you should be able to remove the antenna. Right. So only thing that we have left is remove the screen, and we have to remove these 4 guys. I'm gonna put this aside for now. Something that I normally do, I will place a screen. First of all, they are T9 screws. Let's remove at least one of each side. Because of the way I have the camera set up, you probably won't see this, but what I do is I open it up and place it on the side of my desk. Let me see if I can make you see this. Alright, here it is. You're gonna remove the other tools. once you remove all of them, you should be able to just remove the screen, just like this. This is our old keyboard, battery, top case. Let's grab the new one now. New one, already got our trackpad, already got the Touch ID, and now let's install all the components that we have left. First one, we're gonna install this is the jack, audio jack. Those screws that goes there is you can make sure you connect the Touch ID. Can install the screen now. This is a little bit out of focus, but what we're gonna do is just insert the screen on the panel on the top case and make sure the spring tensioners are in the inside position. Make sure they're not trapped underneath the screen, or if this happens when you close it, you might broken your screen. Be careful with that. I break that screen. Okay. Now we're gonna insert T9 screws that goes to the screen. We're not gonna tie them all the way in. Why we're not tightening all the way in? Because we want to make sure that the screen is very well aligned. When I close it, I make sure that it is aligned, that is flush all the way on the sides and the top. Once you confirm that, then go ahead and tighten all the screws. Right, now let's install the antenna. So you can go ahead and install the clutch cover. Remember the screws for the antenna. The first one that you want to install here are the spring tensioners. Remember the RT3 and the screws that goes here are like a little large. Correct. So it's installed. We want to install the 4 T5 screws that holds the screen model with antenna. Now all these little guys that this process is specific for this 13-inch 2020 M1 MacBook Pro. But yes, process on many MacBook is very similar. Process is very similar. All right, all of them are ready to go. Let's install the screw for the clutch covers. There are 2 on each side. Just flip it over again. We can now reinstall the fan. Fan is already in. Let's put the speaker. These 2 screws from the speaker. Cool. So the only thing we have left is reinstall the logic board. Remember to put all these connectors to the side. Something I normally do. I like to do it this way. You're gonna take some Kapton tape and I'm going to hold one of the connectors. That should be fine. Let's put one more on the track beside. Now it's time to reinstall the logic board. Right. Since the logic board is in, I recommend put one screw. You can start attempting to connect the different components, different flex cables. Start removing that Kapton tape. Connect the speaker. Let's connect the logic board to the screen. Sure is well connect. This is the flex cable for the touch bar, at least one of them. Since this streaming is really been too long, I'm gonna call it right now. I'm gonna finish this the other setup on a new one. I hope this video helped you a lot, and let's don't forget the last part will be on the next streaming.